All righty, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. Hope everybody's having a great trading session. Happy Monday to you. It's pretty slow out. We're seeing a grind higher in risk, which is keeping the dollar, under a little bit of pressure. But we're not really going anywhere, and that's the thing that we have to realize is the market is very quiet. I was just saying earlier that Bitcoin was nearing the 39,000 level, which I think this is going to be some pretty good resistance up here in Bitcoin. Matter of fact, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. It's one of those, recovery, price action recovery. We're back up towards, the weekend highs, if you will. I do think that we're going to find some resistance up at these levels. So let's identify that. First and foremost, I think you can see right through here. I think we get, you guys remember, how many of you remember the Greek gods? Do you guys remember the Greek gods? Those of you that are old school listeners of the Morning Edge, anybody remember the Greek gods? Chad says, of course. Tony said, sure, from Steve and Stell. Didier says, I wasn't born. No, Alex says, yes, I do, but I'm not an old viewer. Laugh out loud. Okay, well, some of the really old viewers, when I'd see like a currency pair or something getting towards levels that would be like, the gods are giving you that price to short or to get long. And then I'd make fun of the Greek Orthodox Church. Mind you, I'm actually baptized Greek Orthodox. I had to be baptized Greek Orthodox to get married in Greece back in 2003. Well, now we have the crypto gods. Do you know what the crypto gods sound like? I don't know what the crypto gods sound like, but maybe they sound a little like this. Beep, beep, maybe that's what they sound like. So maybe if the Greek gods would be speaking, if we got to 42,000, Bitcoin gods and the crypto gods would be when we get to 40,000. Beep, bop, boop, 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 beep, beep, beep. Okay.
Are you drunk? Are you drunk, man? What's happening?
I've had a lot of coffee this morning and my eyes are watering, so I don't know. No, seriously, I'm like my eyes won't stop watering. It's Monday mornings. I'm so tired.
Is it still allergy season there?
Was that?
Is it still allergy season?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Well,
Good.
we're on the cusp of it. And I guess it kind of is because it's still not like super hot. Once it gets super hot, then it's over. Kills everything. Anything blossoming dies, is dead. We turn into desert brown over here. But no, I'm just my eyes are watering because I'm tired. I'm just I slept in. I'm sleeping in a little bit more, and then all of a sudden Monday comes around, hits you like a ton of bricks. Anyway. So I do think that Bitcoin resistance is going to be up here around the 43,000. That's key. Will we make it back up there again? I don't know. I'm gonna write down a couple levels here, because if you got the 43,000 level, then if you think that we're consolidating and you're thinking, man, there's no way we're going to make it up there, then I think that this the 618 and the resistance right here, this all comes in around 39,000. So I think that might offer resistance first before the 43,000. I don't even know if we're going to get close to that, to be honest. Obviously support here is going to be 32,000, or you can write 30,000, but I think we're going to find support before then. So I'm going to write 32K. Stelios, that water looks so beautiful. Like, could you see the
so
ocean
beautiful, man.
floor?
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Wow. Is there any fish around there?
Yes, and we have a friend who's a diver, and he took a dive and brought up an octopus, and we had it a few hours later, so not too bad.
No way. Do you guys do you do a lot of skin diving? You know, just like with the snorkel and stuff.
I don't personally, but I have friends who do, and two of them were with us on this weekend.
Like, how deep was the ocean floor when that picture you took? This one.
Oh, that wasn't deep. That was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 meters. Not too deep. 5 meters.
Oh, see, like that's a kind of like I'd love to swim around there and just kind of because just to look at like the ocean life. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh gosh. Anyway, okay. Enough about that. I'll start daydreaming. Next thing you know, we get no analysis done. And if you guys missed the morning edge, or no, I'm sorry, not the morning edge. The FA.C.E webinar. This is still. Well, we didn't talk about this. Is this the catamaran you were on?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Wow, it's nice.
It's beautiful.
This is the water. And this is Stelios's pink toenail that's painted. I'm just kidding. No, but that's beautiful. I mean, that's
man.
insane.
You should come over whenever you can.
Oh, I am. Really and my father-in-law. And I was telling Stelios and Steve this over the weekend. My father-in-law is actually coming. He'll be there in September. A couple years ago. I don't get as many miles as I used to, but he wanted to go to Greece a couple of years back because he wanted to visit his family, and I offered to him. It was like a birthday gift, or I can't remember. It was like Christmas or something, one of the holidays. And I said, you know what? I'm going to fly you to Greece. I'm going to just use my miles, and happy birthday, something like that. And then we made reservations for him a couple years ago. For last year, and obviously COVID hit, so it didn't happen. So I actually just this weekend rescheduled his trip for September. So he's gonna go out there to Greece, and Stelios and Steve are gonna be able to meet my father-in-law.
Awesome.
So yeah, it'd be cool. He's I don't know my way around Athens other than around the Parthenon. I kind of know my way around the markets and stuff around there, but it's been so many years that I don't know the all the the suburbs where you guys live. But anyway, he's like, where do they live? And I'm like, northern Greece, northern Athens. Like, I don't know. Anyway, 122.50 is going to be resistance for the euro. We might as well. I'm going to get sidetracked here, so let's get back on. Whoops, 122.50. Sorry, guys, I can't see my keyboard here. I think we still stay bullish the euro while we're above this trend line. This trend line now comes in at 121. I say roughly. I say again about 121.40. It is a rising trend line. We've been raising that number all last week. I think we started at 121, and we've been making our way up because that trend line's been making its way higher. All right. Cable. Now, we broke below wedge support, and that's something that I want everybody to be aware of. The cable actually is trading heavy, and you might go, well, the euro's, euro's holding up. It is, but the euro sterling looks bullish. And it's been holding that 618 retracement. If you guys haven't been paying attention to that, there's a 618 at 85.65, and you can see how we're we're making our way higher, and that's keeping the pound under a little bit of pressure. So while we're below this spike low, you can see it's the previous 618. That's 141.70. You can see this high right here. I think you got to focus more on the downside. So 141.70 support is at 140.80. And you'll notice Friday, it was in bullish. Now we're going to keep it in range. I think it was in bullish. Boop, it was. Aussie. Support, 76.90. Resistance, obviously 78 cents, but 78.20. But, you know, I think if we get anywhere towards 78 cents now, you're going to find sellers. I mean, we'll still write 78.20, but I just think that 76.90. I just think anywhere close to 78.20, anywhere close to 78 cents. Kiwi Triangle still forming. Support 71.50. Resistance 72.75. These are the breakout points for the triangle. Okay. Dollar Canadian. I mean, you know, it's hard for me to be bearish the Canadian down here, but I think on Friday Dale was talking about a 3 drive there. That's what those lines are from. Regardless, channel, right? Let's be cognizant of that. So 121. That's 121.25, but I'm going to write down resistance at 121.50. I'm going to keep it on bearish while we're below 122. You guys know that. But it's hard for me to be really bearish down here, knowing that we're holding the 2017 lows. Is that correct? 2019, or is it 17? Shoot, let's find out. The euro just spiked up. Why? Oh, Brainerd. Fed has tool to tackle persistent higher inflation. There's a lot of Fed speakers today. So that's 2017 lows. Okay. 120. Who else is speaking today? Brainerd speaking right now. Bostic speaks later.
That's it, I think.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks about it. Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Continuing on. Swissy. 91 cents. Remember, this is the 200-day moving average right here. It's at, 90.80. I'm still going to write down 91 cents because I think that's key. Support. $89.30. All right. US dollar, Norwegian krona. I still think this is a good setup. We break through I'm going to write down 842. I know we were writing 840, but I'm going to write down 842. Support probably dips back down to this trend line, which will be probably down to this horizontal support, 830. And I'm very close to flipping this one to bullish. We have to just, rally above 842, and that goes to bullish. Dollar MEX 2010, but really it's 2030 support 1978, which is this previous low right here. It's all the same stuff. 1978 and resistance 2030, and it's bearish while we're below that. Dollar yen. Notice how we're just hugging this trend line here. That really means that this support is key. 108.55. So let's just write 108.50. And resistance is still 109.65, which is the 618. If you guys don't remember, it's this right here. Right. Resistance, resistance, still resistance. Dollar index. 89.65 and 90.30. 89.65, 90. Oops, shoot. Ah, dang it. Did not mean to do that. 90.30. We'll stay bearish while we're below that 90.30. Which is trendline resistance, right? Put an asterisk there. Gold and silver. Gold, I mean, look at this. Just holding up like a champ. Above that resistance too. That's the daily trend line. So next stop would be the 618, which is 19.25. And remember, it's bullish while we are above 1850 or 1845, which is it? 1845. Silver, on the other hand, no, it's up a little bit today, but remember the 78% retracement, 28.75 support is key at 27, was 27, now it's 27.15, rising trend line. 27.15, that's key. 28.75, 28.75. Yep. I'm going to keep this in range. Last but not least, the S&P. I do think that we're going to be capped here 42 cents or 42 cents, 4,200, excuse me. I think we are actually building a triangle, but intraday support, well, support's at 40.85. So let's just write that down. 40.85 and 4,200. I keep it in range for now. All right. That's your bias chart. It's done. I wish I had more to say today. It's just consolidation. Consolidation. Steve, how's it going?
Fine.
He's eating again.
Yeah.
Are you really? Wow. All right. Well, that means Stelios will take over while you're eating, so you're not like chewing on your food while Well, I'm sure Stelio has something to say while you're eating your food. But yeah, guys, I really don't have a whole lot to say today. I think that we're consolidating recent moves, and um, I don't have anything super enlightening right now. How about you
It's
guys?
okay. It's okay not to have something super enlightening. I don't either, and I personally think we're still in this slow grind because the markets don't believe that the Fed is actually going to do anything to face rising inflation. I think the market thinks that rates are going to just stay low,
Yeah.
I
and
think the market is right.
that's well, yes, but at some point they might be forced to do something. The Fed, I mean. So
At some point, as you said.
at some
Let's
point,
get to that.
not yet. They're going to delay it. We've said this so many
They're
times.
going
So
to delay it as much as they can. That's the only sure thing. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you take over some charts, and I'm going to go take a little bit of a break myself, and I'll see you guys here for the daily roundup for sure, and I'll see you in the chat room if you guys are in the chat room. I'll see you in there, and good luck today, everybody. So Stelios, I'll pass it over to you and Steve while Steve's eating.
No, actually, I'm not eating anymore, but I
Okay.
need a few seconds to finish
Sure,
something.
sure. Okay. Well, do you want me to take the screen as well, Steve?
Go ahead, Stel. Take it
Let
for a minute.
me- Sure. Hold on. Where is it? Share screen. There we go. So, but nothing's changed, unfortunately. We're seeing two-way action, but only in cryptos.
True, true.
The dollar, remains in a fine balance here. We're very close to these lows of late 2020. There's other currencies like dollar CAD. I've seen dollar CAD, which is also very close to these lows from September 17. So it feels like we're kind of in a big decision place. So the dollar is either going to go straight down. I always thought that we're going to get a bounce on the DXY towards this trend line. We tried to. We got halfway, but then it just it just kept going. So we're going to have to make a decision. We either bounce properly from here, towards 96, 97, or it goes straight through. And if that happens, man, literally, we're in the mid 80s, 83, 84. I think is probably the first support. So it's very easy to say, my God, dollar's been going south for almost a year now, with almost no bounces. So it's very easy to say, I'm just going to stick with the trend and and just be short dollars. But DSI is pretty low on the dollar. I can't remember. It's somewhere in the teens, and sentiment is quite bearish. So again, it's actually easy to make an argument for both sides. That's why I don't have a clear view, and the only positions I have now is in my usual gold, silver, and miners longs, which are doing well. But FX, I'm finding it quite hard to actually make a proper decision. I want to see the dollar, how it reacts here, and if it breaks down, great. I don't mind missing the first 50 pips or 100 pips or whatever it is, because then it's going to keep going. So that's what I'm doing in currencies. That's what I'm not doing in currencies, actually, because I'm not doing much. Euro pound is trying to rally. It's coming, it's coming back up towards this kind of resistance zone. But I still think we're going to need to see 83, 84 before I can actually take a counter trend trade. And I think I will be buying euro pound back down there, because I like the very well defined risk reward. You see these levels here, 1, 2, 3, 4 times we touched, and it came right back up. So I think at 83 or so, you're going long, you risk, I don't know, 30, 40 pips. You want to obviously give it a little bit below, because you know how this is. It takes the lows and then it comes back up. But you want to give it some room. But if we do get to 83, stop probably 50 pips below, and then your target's realistically 86, 87. So that's a really nice risk reward, I think, for euro pound. Obviously, we have to see what kind of developments we get on the macro side, right? As well, if something changes in a big way, then obviously, this trade might not be might not be the right way to go. But anyway, and equities, I mean, look at that. It's just, we've been talking about how the S&P had been going a little bit parabolic, and then after COVID, it went a lot more parabolic. So, will I short this? Hell no. Will I buy it? Hell no. So again, I'm not very helpful, I know, but equities is very, very difficult to go either way, in my opinion. Here, I mean, as far as I know, you, Steve, probably have the same opinion. All I want to say is that if we do see a dollar spike for whatever reason, the currencies that I want, and if we do see some risk off, obviously, the currencies I want to be short against the dollar is CAD, and as always, Norway, which has been, it's been so strong, and me, I was short for a good chunk of this move, but this is one of the pairs that's going to really, really move fast if we do get a dollar spike, and also some currencies like dollar, MXN. But otherwise, I'm still long silver, long gold, and the long-term view for silver is this little wedgie thing. Needs to be resolved. I think it's around $30 that it needs to break. The one I really like is GDX. We've been looking at this for a while. I am long this on the breakout, and it was actually on the daily. It looks a lot better.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Broke out, retested, and then it looks pretty impulsive. So the next
it hasn't done anything wrong for sure.
Yeah. And of course, it will pull back at some point, but I think the fundamentals are all there. And as long as the dollar doesn't start screaming higher, or yields, they don't either scream higher, then I think this is a good trade. And I'm sticking with it, and I'm lucky enough to be nicely in the money, so I don't have that much stress on this.
If yields scream higher, the GDX is going to do even better.
Well, in the short term, maybe not, but yeah, in the big picture,
because if yields start indeed screaming higher, there's going to be so much instability in the system and so much fear that
yes,
gold is going to go parabolic.
I agree. And gold is broken out. So I mean, I see nothing wrong with these trades. That's why I'm not in a hurry to take any profits yet. I'm not taking any profits. I took, as I said last week on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, yes, Thursday before I left, I took half my Bund short position, which had gone well, and it's come to this pretty nice support zone. It used to be resistance, now support, and it's clearly it's a very important zone. So I took half here, and
yeah, let's see. It might take a breather there.
It might do, and it's only natural, right? I mean, this move has been pretty.
Yeah, it had a nice ride, so yeah, taking some off the table definitely not a bad idea.
Yes. Anyway, so that's what I'm.
Nobody went broke taking profits if they do it in a way that doesn't destroy the risk reward, right?
Of course. And cryptos, of course, Bitcoin. We talked about this on Face. 25K is the level where Michael Saylor is long on average on micro strategy. This is firm.
Oh, there's going to be such a bad bloodbath if they start finding themselves underwater because they've kept martingaling again and again and again.
Yes. And it's different, it's not an individual, Elon Musk buying Bitcoins for himself. This is a company, right? They can go bust. So
absolutely.
If things start looking bad, they will have to sell. It's not that I never sell. Who tweeted that? It's not a loss if you don't sell. Oh, it was a Winklevoss, one of the two Winklevoss brothers. It's never a loss if you don't sell. I mean, how can you say that if you ever traded anything?
You can if you are talking to a crowd of retards or people that have absolutely no clue, you can say BS like that. And for people that are completely out of any type of trading, investing kind of mentality, it might even sound logical, you know what I mean? Because don't forget that the vast majority of the people that in essence talking to are people that are into cryptocurrencies in a form of a cult. They believe that they'll buy, they'll hold forever, and they'll die rich from their young ages just having problems in their lives, like which color of my Lamborghinis should I take out today?
Dude, I saw
yeah.
this. I saw this tweet today. I laughed. There was this guy. I don't know if it's real or not, but this guy tweeting, "Hello" to somebody. I don't think it was Sailor, but to somebody famous, known about being a crypto fan. And he tweeted and said, "Oh, I bought $5,000 of Dogecoin some weeks back or days back, and now when I try to sell it only gives me 2,567. How can I fix this? I'm new to crypto trading." And I'm like, okay, nice.
How can I fix this?
Yeah, it's called the market. Anyway, yeah. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The answer is simple. If you don't sell, there is nothing you have to fix, right?
Yes. Anyway, that's stuff I've been looking at.
Anyhow, unfortunately, as always, it's the old adage. It's like bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered.
True.
And unfortunately, a lot of the people that participate in the cryptomania, I'm afraid that they belong in the pigs category, right? I mean, unfortunately, you see more and more people piling in to these trades when they're extremely overdone and overhyped and all over the media. And of course, that is almost always the time that you should be extremely fearful instead of extremely greedy.
Yeah.
I mean, we had like a perfect storm of type of events that point to tops, like we had the Coinbase IPO, we had Elon Musk taking Tesla into the Bitcoin world, so on and so forth. These are things that you don't see at the bottoms of markets.
True. Very, very true.
Yeah. So people that are just like blindly following after something has been so hugely overhyped, especially something that has no intrinsic value and it's purely supply demand in a marketplace and nothing else. It's not that there are some fundamentals that can increase the demand for Bitcoin. It's not like it's lumber, for example, and we're building more houses. So there's a fundamental reason for for demand to go high and supply can't catch up or whatever. So since there is no real fundamental driver behind it, it's all about supply and demand. But these are the signs that you see when the vast majority of the people that already wanted to have long exposure, they've already bought. So the problem is that there are not many left, at least in the short term, until the market recalibrates itself, to jump into the market and produce the extra demand to keep it going higher. And this applies to every single market. That's why every single time we're looking at a parabolic chart, I always say the same thing, right? That these type of moves are in essence doomed to have a specific outcome, right? Which is like a crash lower. Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrencies are going to disappear and the reason I don't believe so is because I don't really see the signs that all the fuel that is running the mania fires all around us in the financial world are going to be out anytime soon. So specifically, if you want my viewpoints, Stelio, I'm actually in talks with a friend of mine, and I'm going to speak with another one today and have a conversation with them about making a small like shitcoin portfolio, because I really believe that once this mania starts firing up again, especially some of the people that have lost a lot of money won't have even the cash, so they start piling in cheaper currencies like Dogecoin and things like that. Because it's, of course, does it make any difference if you want to invest $2,000 or five or 10 or 100? It doesn't matter how much you buy, you still own X amount of money. But the thing is that we're talking about so clueless people that are buying into these markets that even the sentimental factor of saying, oh, I own 3,000 Dogecoins, in contrast of saying I own 0 point something of Bitcoin or 0 point something of Ethereum, in their mind, it makes a difference. It makes them feel richer, you know what I mean? It makes them feel that there is more upside to it. Yeah. So I am actually thinking of putting some I don't care about money in like 2-3 of those, just because I believe people are stupid enough to push them higher once again. So, this is not a fundamental advice. My fundamental opinion. We now have almost 10,000 cryptocurrencies. In my opinion, more than 9,990 of them are going to be nowhere to be found in a few years. Even if some survive, like Bitcoin, Ethereum are the main candidates, of course, and a few others, I really can't see a way that all the rest will do. And another reason is these are technological constructs. And as we keep making more and more of them in an exponential pace, their technology also improves, right? What are the chances that the best cryptocurrencies will have been created at the beginning, since it's all about technology? Almost zero.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah. Now, of course, some of them, due to the network effect, they might be really bad having to do with technology, like Bitcoin. But once they've created such a huge network, yes, then there are other main factors that they won't go completely bust or have less chance of going completely bust, right? But like the rest of them that almost nobody knows, they will. As simple as that, because there's going to be no demand for them whatsoever.
Well, let's see. It's a possible scenario, that's for sure.
Anyhow, today so far.
Let me stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, today so far has been, a rather dull day. In the sense, we're seeing again some dollar selling, which of course is not any kind of a surprise. And if you look at the dollar index or the euro, because it's almost the exact inverse, it's now 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth day that we're consolidating in the range of what we had 5 days ago, more or less. So this is clearly some kind of a short-term consolidation. If we look at it on the 4-hour chart, and we pull the DXY, you can see it more clearly here, right? I mean, we are in some kind of a consolidation. Now, you know it, you've heard it multiple times before, consolidations have the tendency of getting resolved in the direction of the previous trend. So, just by looking at this, I can't really be bullish the dollar. I mean, the chances that this is going to break lower are higher than the chances that we're forming some kind of a bottoming pattern. And in any case, even if that's the case, right, we have this descending channel trend line resistance that will tell us if that's the case. I mean, roughly 90.25 is resistance at the moment. So even if you want to look at it in the short term, as long as we trade below 90.25, why should you be bullish? I really find absolutely no reason why you should. Now, admittedly, indices are kind of a mixed bag at the moment, if you ask me, because I've been looking around all the indices, and I always start, of course, by looking the S&P. So the S&P says that we had one leg lower, we have some type of a consolidation. Now, have we found the low there? We might not, because there is a chance that we need like one more leg lower. Now, there are indices, doesn't want to, okay. Now, there are indices that point more towards this direction and indices that say something else. So, for example, the NASDAQ makes it even more likely that we might have one more leg lower left. I mean, it looks more like a, bearish rebound needing one more leg lower. But then you look at other indices like the DAX, which is currently breaking higher, at the FTSE. Still?
Sorry. I'm not muted, sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Just checking that my girls have had some.
I know, I heard. Like the FTSE, which also looks like it's forming some kind of a symmetrical triangle, that look like they want to move in the opposite direction. So just by looking at them, I would say we're just consolidating and we're going to go straight higher. Now, there is a big divergence with the Shanghai Composite Index. We've pinpointed that a long time ago. For me, it's an important index, right? And, you know, it still looks very, very, very much like it has at least one more leg lower, right? This, just compare the move lower with the rebound we're seeing so far. You know, other emerging market indices look bullish as well. Here's the Nifty. Here's the Bank Nifty, you know, both breaking out as we speak. Here's the FXI on the other hand. Again, a China index that looks a lot less healthy, right? On the other hand, here's the emerging market index, which probably in some type of a bullish consolidation as well. So, you know, if you ask me, the US indices look somewhat more vulnerable at the moment, right? And you can see why. Now, does this mean that they're going to move lower from here? No, the evidence is still inconclusive, right? But all I'm saying is that, you know, I'm not sure we found the bottom in that pullback we had like what was it, like a couple of weeks ago, right? I don't think we've necessarily found the bottom. So I would be a little bit careful. Now, if we indeed see another leg lower, you know, that can salvage the wreckage that's called the dollar and save it for the time being from pushing to new lows, multi-year lows, actually. Let me see. Yeah, since 2018. So yeah, multi-year lows. So, you know, it's all about that. This is all I'm paying attention to, having to do with FX and the indices. You know, the correlation is still strong, and you know they have to make a decision now. Having to do with the rest of the assets, crude oil remains very, very well bid. In my opinion, it's a no-brainer that this is some type of a bullish consolidation. Now, is it a symmetrical triangle? Is it a channel? It can be either, right? It doesn't really matter, because for the time being, and since I'm taking as an axiom that this is a bullish consolidation until proven otherwise, what we should mostly care about is the trend line resistance, and that is the same, you know, regardless of if this is a channel or a symmetrical triangle. So I do think that eventually we're breaking through like 66 and change, and we're headed higher, in my opinion, north of 70. And it's quite clear. Now, natural gas has taken the opposite direction, which isn't a surprise, because after we saw that failure, once we broke through this range, it wasn't, you know, a surprise. Don't lose the big picture, though. And the big picture is that I still think that we are in some type of a broader consolidation that's probably a bullish consolidation, right? And we're in the middle of this triangle. So, you know, in the short term, yes, you can be, I guess, bearish, but personally, I wouldn't be touching it in the short side in any way, because I think that, you know, sooner rather than later, this is breaking higher as well. Now, gold closed above this channel on a daily closing basis multiple times. It did close above it on a weekly closing basis. And we're a few days away to close on a monthly basis. So despite seeing some divergences, and I do pay attention to them, silver hasn't followed yet, right? Platinum hasn't as well. In all actuality, it seems vulnerable, and it seems like it might, as we were saying, it might want to produce one more low before it can move higher. Palladium is still in some kind of a corrective move lower. Same with copper. I still can't, you know, just dismiss this breakout, because don't forget the miners, the gold miners first broke higher from the same type of formation, right? The GDX back tested the channel and continued. Then we had gold follow. So, you know, in all honesty, yeah, I do see the divergences, but I can't recommend to anybody to fade this, especially knowing where this thing is headed. This thing is headed much, much higher. Now, can this be a false breakout for the time being? Yeah, you can always make a case for that. But in my opinion, you shouldn't fade gold, or if you do so, do at your own peril or whatever. What else? Now, what I was saying before with cryptocurrencies having to do with the technical levels. Whoops. So this is the area I was looking for in Ethereum, this horizontal support area at 1970. So we did punch through it yesterday intraday, but we never closed below it. By the way, we're about to backtest this 2,500 area, so keep that in mind. By the way, I'm not convinced that we're done yet. And keep in mind that this is a nice resistance area, so if we're not done yet, this is probably a good area to sell into. Keep that in mind, this one. Equivalently with Bitcoin, we didn't, first of all, we have one divergence here, right? Ethereum produced a lower low, Bitcoin didn't. In any case, though, Bitcoin did test this 30,000 area. Are we done? It's too early to say. Was this rebound higher? If you remember, it was quite clear that 42.5 is a resistance, and we should see most likely than not, another rejection from there, and that did happen. The big question is, was this fast move lower the end? I doubt it for two reasons. First, we didn't see a lower low. Second of all, it seems too short in duration to me. So if I had to guess, and we can now delete all that, it has played out very nicely, but let's clean up the chart a little bit so we take into consideration some scenarios. Scenario number one, we might be forming a triangle here. Right? Scenario number two, we might form some type of a channel like that, Scenario number three, we might have found the low. I think between the three scenarios, it's one of the first two. So, if I was looking to have exposure in Bitcoin, would I be buying it at the moment? No, probably not. Unless I was more than happy to find myself out of the money, I wouldn't. I think this move is unfinished for the time being, most likely than not. Which would be the next downside target if I'm right about that? In my opinion, this horizontal support area at 24,000 and change. Now, we see a move there. It's going to start looking like a likely scenario that we've seen the end of it, right? So that's what I think about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yes, that's a good question. What is happening with the ratio of Bitcoin and Ethereum? Let's see what is happening with this ratio. It definitely remains bearish for the time being, right? Having said that, looks like it might want to at least produce a rebound before we move lower, if that's what's going to happen, right? So in the short term, I wouldn't be short the Bitcoin Ethereum ratio, if you ask me. In the short term, I wouldn't be short. Okay. Let me see some questions. Cover those. A friend of mine went in 100,000 in Dodge at the high. Now he's crying. Yeah, what can I say? Your friend, unfortunately, is not the exception. I can tell you that much. Unfortunately, he should have known better, I'm afraid. I wish him the best. I hope he can recover. Steve, quick question: how does the Koine Greek differ from modern Greek?
Do you mean modern Greek to ancient Greek?
Koine Greek. What does that
I
mean?
don't know. I don't know what that is.
Μήπως θέλει κοινή ελληνική?
I don't
I
know.
assume.
Don't know.
Listen, ancient Greek were a very complex language with extremely complex grammar and very rich vocabulary. So it is getting simplified as the years pass. That has some positive and some negative effects, as you understand. Mostly negative, if you ask me. But yeah, they differ quite a lot.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Yeah. So see you again tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.